What's going on, YouTube land? How are you doing? How's it going out there? I hope you guys are finding yourself in a great place. You remember when I told you I had something big coming up in our last episode? I had something big that I wanted to share with you guys from a personal perspective. Well, this is it. I made the President's Club. That's right. Your boy made the President's Club there at my job. And they blessed my family and sent us on a cruise, all expenses paid for. My wife and my two daughters. My mother came, and some very close friends of my family came as well. And that was us there just prior to us getting on the ship. We drove down from Atlanta to Jacksonville the day before and stayed at a hotel. Made sure we got our bellies full before we waited in this line. This is us here getting to the port. That's my daughter there. She's wanted to take a bunch of pictures. My oldest daughter, she's taking some more pictures behind Gigi. And that's us right there. We're just getting on the cabin going. We just got through, Border Patrol, and they had to check our birth certificates and IDs and all of that. So we was able to get through the check through. It was actually, that's him right there. He was so excited. Everybody was excited. He said, we're on a cruise, so we was walking. We had an awesome time. So that's us walking down the hall. We just got into our stateroom. Our room actually didn't have a window. The companies are going to try to be as economical as they can, and I understand that. It was a bigger cost to get a window in the room, so we wasn't complaining because it was free. And then that's us there. We're walking out to the deck because after all that standing in the line and checking in and going through this and going through that, you got kind of hungry, and so everybody wanted to see what kind of food they had. And so my favorite place that I already had looked up, the first place I told my family I was going was right there to Guy's Burgers. Guy Fieri, if you guys are familiar with him, he's a famous chef. You'll see him a lot on the Food Channel. He's got the blonde, spiky hair. The burgers were absolutely incredible. I ate there. Our cruise was 5 days. I ate there 4 times, just to give you, a sight on how good that they actually were. And then this is us. If I was to actually play the video with this original sound, you would hear us going, ooh, 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 ooh. The cruise director is making a big deal about, will we make it up onto the bridge? Here it goes. We better not crash. The top of those little balls there that's on the top of that cruise, and they're playing some really hype music to have us, get us in the mood of being on that cruise. And so we made it through. And they honked the horn, this big horn that you see on the tail of the cruise. They're doing the same thing. Will it make it through? Will it make it up under the bridge? Are we going to crash? And then he honked the horn real loud. Bomb, bomb. And it kind of like startled everybody. There it is. We're making it up under the bridge. And so there it is. He's counting it down. Yeah. Will we make it? Yeah. We made it. Woo. That's what he was doing on the microphone. And we were all out. That's called the setting sail party. So they called everybody on the cruise. Our cruise, by the way, I didn't think it was going to be so packed. I heard it was packed to capacity. Over 2,000 people that was on our ship there. We went on Carnival Elation. It was a very good ship. It's an older ship, but it's a very good ship because they just refurbished it in 2023, I was told. And so all the rooms were pretty nice and clean, and everything was pretty new with carpet. And one thing I can tell you about Carnival is they do an excellent job keeping everything clean. They were wiping down everything. Every time we would come back in our rooms, our beds were done, showers, fresh towels, everything that you could think of, it was done. And it was a very, very, very good experience that I had on Carnival. So I would definitely recommend Carnival. I would be interested in maybe going on a newer ship, but it was great. Like I said, it was free, so I had no problem with and that's me there. I'm having a blast with my kids and my wife, and we're all dancing. They're playing that da da do do ba do do boo do. I forget the words of that, but when everybody's doing the line dancing, and then that's us. This is day 2 actually. This is day 2 of us and here on the cruise, and so what we're doing now is just getting seated. My mother and some of our friends from our family, they are already seated, and so we got up there a little bit late. So we're looking for them, but there's me. I'm browsing, the buffet just to see exactly what I might be ready to get my hands on, because one of the best things about being on a cruise is you get all you can eat food, and everything's free. You'll hear me say that numerous amounts of time throughout this video vlog here. But that's my daughters and I, and my mom and my wife are looking at the waves, and then we went back inside because there was a show getting ready to start there in the Mikado Lounge. And so my wife and my kids, there they are, they're acting silly, putting on the show. My wife and kids they are dance fever. We dance all the time at home. And so look at my wife being so silly. Get it, girl. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, girls. Having a blast. So, oh man, we just really enjoyed ourselves on this cruise. There they go there. And that's called the Mikado Lounge, one of the bigger theaters on that ship. And they had some comedy shows and other things there as well. Then that's us back at Guy's. We got kind of hungry, so we went back to Guy's burger joint there for lunch. And there's my food there. There's my wife. She's like, I know you don't got me on camera eating. Because you know how women are. Oh, gosh. And then later on that evening, we went to... we had the captain's dinner ball there. And so my daughters are dressed up, and there's my wife, and we had a blast with that. And we got settled in and got checked in and everything. That's us. That's my daughter and my wife sitting there looking beautiful as always. And we're looking away. I think we already had looked over our food and menu. And so we were just sitting there talking and having a good time. And then they had some live music going on. So it was a great atmosphere, very elegant in that part of the ship. You couldn't dress with regular clothes. You had to come in there at least with khakis. And so we took some family photos. Oh, man, they came out so beautiful. That's my oldest daughter there. And then that's my youngest daughter coming up there. Look at her posing. And then this was day 3 where we got to the island of Bimini. It's a private island there in the Caribbean, not far from actually Florida, like Miami area. It's maybe about 50 miles, I'm told, south of Miami. And so it was a beautiful, look at that water, man. My daughter was like, wow. When we came out, she was like, whoa, Dad, look at how blue this water is. And so it was picturesque. And watch here, we get a little bit closer to the water because we're actually walking down to the beach. And if you look closely, there are like some fish. I don't know what kind of fish they are, but the water, you can literally see all the way down to the bottom. The water is so clear. And this video doesn't do it justice about just how beautiful it is. And then that's us there. We're at the beach. My daughter's there at the beach. Both of my daughters, and we're having a blast. That water, I tell you again, is so beautiful. I actually sat down in it just and let those waves come up on my legs for probably about 30 minutes before I even got in. And it was the perfect weather out there too. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. It was a perfect 85. Perfect 85. And so that's baby girls there taking pictures, wife and I being silly. And then we left from there. We stayed out there maybe 3 or 4 hours, and then my kids got hungry. So did I. So that's my oldest daughter there being silly, eating dessert, eating cakes and pies and all that stuff. And my wife there, she's a big salad and greenery eater. She's a registered nurse, so she's real healthy. Look at my daughter there. Dance fever. Get it, get it, get it. Dance fever. Oh, yes. We had a time. We had a time. And that's that's the buffet area. So we had fun there, and she's getting it again. She's so excited. And so after that, we kind of put our kids up. They had a daycare area, and so we let them play with a lot of the other kids their age, sometimes just to give the parents a break. And we were there listening to some live music. He was playing Usher, so everybody was kind of feeling the vibes, of relaxation. It was the evening time. And then this is the morning of day 4, Nassau, Bahamas, I believe. Yeah, we were there in Nassau. My daughter got her an omelet, and that's the omelet shelf there. She got her an omelet, and my youngest daughter, she was getting, I think she got some cereal and some fruit and some other stuff. And so, like I said, it was just it was a smorgasbord worth of food. And then that's us. We arrived to Nassau, Bahamas. That's the big day that everybody is waiting for. You want to wait. You can't wait to get to Nassau. That's the climax of the cruise where all the stuff is. And so we were actually delayed from getting off our ship for about 2 hours because we had 3 other ships pull up at the same time. So they couldn't let all of us get off at once. So we were supposed to get off at 8:30 and ended up getting off at 10:30, and they pushed back our leave time for another 2 hours. And so that's us getting off the ship there. That's the port of Nassau. And we're walking on, man, it's so exciting. Everybody was ready to get off. And you had 2,000 people trying to get off the ship at one time. So it was kind of a frenzy a little bit, but the security and staff really handled us very well. And we was all able to get off very diplomatically, and it wasn't any issues going on there. So everybody was kind of chill, but just ready to get off and explore the island of Nassau. So look at that water, I tell you. It's picturesque. It's beautiful. Beautiful. And then as you walk up, you'll see that Nassau has really updated their port. They have like a 3D LED screen there. And if you look long enough, I don't know if I got it in this shot or not, but they have like a shark. They have different things looking like it's getting ready to come out and get you. So it was pretty cool. It was very, very inviting. I was extremely impressed with how clean it was. The security was there. They guided you in. They helped you. Any questions you needed, they answered it for you. So I had a blast with them, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Look at her. And one thing you will notice, as soon as you get into the port, you're gonna have like 30 people at one time trying to see if you want to do an excursion. If you want to do an excursion, do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? And they have those, islander accents. And so that's what makes you feel like you're on vacation even more. So we ended up taking an excursion. And that's a little bit farther when you get into the port there. You got a lot of the shops. He was doing his best to try to convince me to buy one of those pineapple drinks. He almost got me. But I had just eaten right before I got off the ship, so I wasn't hungry. But I did support some people anyway. And you just got a lot of different food shops. There's a big braiding station where they was braiding so many of the patrons' hair. And, you had a lot of different fresh fruit and fresh food stands. My parents are actually from Miami, so they're big on conch fritters. And so are they there in Nassau. So they had a big conch restaurant. They had several of them. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to eat them this time, but next time I go back, hopefully next year, we'll get some fresh conch from the Bahamas. But I had a wonderful time, man. All the shops are freshly painted. I'm told that area of the port is newer, so they've put a lot of money into the development of Nassau. It's really, really inviting, man. I can't stress that enough. It was excellent. Had a beautiful time there, and that's just more shops I was walking through. And those shops, man, they make money. But one thing that I found out about Nassau on our excursion is that over 50% of all jobs in Nassau are dependent upon tourism. So I felt obligated to try to buy some stuff, which I did. And my mom and everybody who we traveled with, we tried to pour into their economy just so love and happiness can go around for us all. And so that's what we were doing there. And my mom and my wife and some friends of the family, as you'll see a little bit later on in the clip or in this video, we went to the straw market and we bought some t-shirts, we bought some hats, we bought some other things, and had some fun. But that's just more of the shops. And the aroma that you'll get walking through here, there's that conch restaurant right there in the orange that has that poster up. It's that conch. It says conch. I was that close to getting some, but we had to go. And that's the straw market right there. It's like a big flea mart or like a swap meet, if you're familiar with that. And then you'll see us walk up a little bit and we'll go in there. They have all kind of stuff in there. All kind of stuff in there. And that's the guy right there. If you see, he has that brown hat on. Hey, I'll take you on an excursion. So we ended up going with him. Look at him. He's trying to convince us now. We went with him and on an excursion. And he showed us so much of Nassau. This is inside of the straw market. They got all kind of stuff in there. Look, book bags, purses, statues, wooden characters. Some of that stuff I kind of try to stay away from because I'm a Christian. I don't, I'm careful with what I bring back home. But, we did buy a lot of t-shirts and different things like that. And that's us on our excursion. He's showing us different things. We saw the some of the monumental buildings and statues and the parliament. We saw where the governor stayed. They have a woman governor. We saw some of their bigger churches, the homes. We went by the beach. Oh man, this guy, our tour guide, he really knew he knew all the history of Nassau, so we had an awesome time with him. That's us. We're going over to the beach, and we're going over to an actual resort called Baha Mar. I think if I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm telling you, the water there is just it would never get old. If I lived there, it would never get old just to come outside my door and walk by the water. It is so beautiful. It's unbelievable. But as you can see, in Nassau, everybody drives on the left-hand side of the road. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, but it was fun to actually be in the car and drive with somebody who had no problem. They were completely used to driving on the left-hand side of the road. So that was fun in and of itself, just experiencing that culture. But look at that water. And then we were getting closer to a resort that he was taking us to. And so if you look at all of this, I'm a horticulturist by trade. I actually have a degree in environmental horticulture. So these plants and this landscaping was probably impressing me even more than it would the average person, just because I know what it takes to plan that kind of architecture around landscaping. Oh man, it was somebody, they called in a great landscaping engineer because they did an awesome job with all of that plant material that they had, that you see there. Oh man, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And we're just riding up, taking it in. He's telling us about all the information and just having a blast. That's us there taking a family picture. And then we got to this part of the tour where it's like a monumental area called the Queen's Staircase. And from my understanding, it had something to do with a connection with the slaves and how they built stairs once they were freed. And I think it was 65 or 66 stairs that they built in representation of their freedom or something to that point. I didn't get all the information, but that's us there taking a picture down at the bottom of the creek there. And then once we got done with that, my daughters was ready to go back in. We want to go to the pool. We want to go to the pool. So they was wanting to go to the slide, but then once they saw how tall they were, oh, Dad, I'm scared. So I said, y'all are chicken. Burp, 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 burp. So we ended up just going back down to the main level there, and they got into the regular pool, and they just stayed in there maybe about an hour and a half with all the other kids, and everybody was just kind of lounging around and relaxing and having a blast. So I didn't want to force my kids to do something they didn't want to do, even though we had looked at it on YouTube before we went. I'm gonna get on the slide. Then once they saw how tall they were, oh, I'm scared. I said, you big old chicken. And that's just them having a great time, taking some pics of their life jackets. And then that was pretty much the end of our day. And so this is our last day. And my daughter's omelet the day before looked so good. I said, I'm going over and get me an omelet today, that morning. And so he made me a ham and cheese omelet. And I told him to add bell peppers for me. And he did. And that's him there. And then here we go again, back at Guy's for lunch. We kind of chilled around because that last day was a day at sea. So we walked around the board and got back hungry again in about 4 or 5 hours. And he's making somebody in front of me a sandwich, and then mine's coming up, burger, and mine's coming up next. And then this is our last night. They had a big, huge comedy show, and we had to get down there early because they had one earlier in the day, and we got there right when it started. And it was completely packed and sold out. You couldn't even get in there. There was absolutely no room. So we said, we're not going to take any chances this time. We got down there about 45 minutes early. And that's why it's not that many people. And then that ended that day. And this is our last day, debarkation day, if I'm saying that right. And that's me there eating our last free meal of the day of the cruise. And I have my hash browns, ham, repping my Dirty Birds. I'm always going to rep my Atlanta Falcons. That's my mom and my kids. Friends of the family are sitting behind us. And so we had a great time. Great time. And that's us. And now we're getting off the ship. And that was probably the most difficult part, is getting off and just waiting in the line, because They don't play in customs. They got to make sure everybody is who they say they are. They got to make sure you're a citizen. They really don't play. So it was comforting to see that they put that much effort into security. And that's us leaving. We got our bags, luggage and bags, and heading to the car. And you guys know we had to go to Buc-ee's on the way back. We actually went on the way down, but everybody had a taste for Buc-ee's on the way back too. So we stopped at the Buc-ee's there in Fort Valley. There's my beautiful daughter there. There's my other daughter there. She's excited. And we're in there dealing with all the frenzy. It's like a big frenzy when you get inside Buc-ee's, I tell you. It's there, and we're walking over to get our sandwiches and everything, get our drinks, get everything that we need. We always use the bathroom when we go in there. And that's us just doing our thing. Hey, get out the way, it's a traffic jam, get out the way, move. And that was actually pretty light in comparison. If you go to Buc-ee's in the summer, oh my God. That's me with my beef brisket sandwich, and my daughter's there. We had a great time.